we're live. We're going live raw here today on Legal Minds. I hope you guys are doing well, having a great time. Of course, it is myself, Andrew Esquire, and this is Legal Minds, that we teach you to be your own judge. Today, we're doing a little bit of a news roundup, a little bit of around the world here today, as we look at all sorts of different things that are going on, what's going on in the world, just like more generally. So yeah, we're going to be going around for a lot of different news topics, and I'm glad y'all can join me here today. Obviously, smash the like button. The live people can start spamming that in the chat with my Andrew AI, because we've gone full AI here. Gone full AI. Yeah, no, we're not just gonna sit here and do not worry. We're gonna talk about some great debates and some not so great debates. What are we talking about all today here? And we got a lot of news topics to cover, of course. I'll start with talking about all the different debates, and there's a lot of different stuff going on there too. So we'll get to all of that. Then we've got the NYPD. Then we've got the NYPD RobotCop thing, which I think is freaking hilarious. So we'll talk about that. Also, I am planning to experiment. Today we're going to experiment. I want to experiment with going over to Rumble and trying to do it through this platform. So hopefully I can do it correctly. So I'm going to try to do a Rumble exclusive segment at the end. So we will actually do that. I'll try it, which is a segment. Hopefully it works smoothly. We got everything going over there. I see the stream is up. So we're going to try to do that when I want to go in on Matt Walsh for being a total, how many minutes are we in? 2 minutes? Okay, I can call him. Matt Walsh for being a cuck. So we're going to go into that on Rumble exclusively, but I try to save that, my profuse swearing, all that. That's for Rumble, right? So YouTube, we're going to keep this wholesome. We're going to keep this family friendly, good for everybody over here. But before I launch into everything, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the members. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Danielle, Mary Ann Nizio, Hypnotic Rapture, Sleazy, Grant Rasha. Good to see y'all. Ona Wall, Ike Pavlovsky, Super 23 Super, Gene Jeffries, Steve C. Let's see what we got. M169, Keck 44. Good to see you guys in the chat. Nick Cruiser, Matrix, Bella Stella, Jay, Melissa Jennings. Good to see you guys checking in early. It's good to see all you guys here today. I'm too smashed to be at Rumble. No. Rumble is the perfect place to be smashed. But yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that at the end. The Rumble exclusive at the end. Also, quick shout out to those people, the DGens over on Locals, who are posting pictures of Johnny Somali looking like a human condom. Did a video for him over on Go East Gentlemen. Those that have seen my Go East Gentlemen videos, check that out. It's my other channel. You guys can get good information on Asia if you're interested in moving or visiting Asia at any point. So let's just jump into it. So right now is the Republican debates. I am not watching the debate. There's a second debate today. But to me, and let me just start out with my thesis here, and I'm going to show you my Exhibit A. On why the Republican debates don't matter worth a good goddamn is really because of this. And I'll show you this real quick. And that is the GOP polling numbers, right? So this is from RCP. It's Real Clear Politics. These are the latest polling numbers, which, let me zoom in, because those that may not be able to see this, I want you to see this very clearly, right? There's no other candidate in the Republican primary other than Trump. So at this point, particularly because of the allegations against him, he's just taken away the polls. I mean, I think especially after they drop criminal charge after criminal charge, all that does is drive Trump up in the polls. So, I mean, the latest one we have right now from Monday, right? This is a Today poll, is Trump 56%, DeSantis 14%, Vivek is 5%, Nikki Haley's 5%, Pence 3%, Scott 2%, Christie 2%, Burgum 1%, Hutchinson 1%. And that's like they're getting their dogs to vote for him. And some of these are also just sad. Look at this other one, the ABC poll. Trump 54%, DeSantis 15%, Vivek 3%, Haley 7%, Pence 6%, Scott 4%, Christie 3%, Burgum 0%, Hutchinson 0%. So you've got people that they've got up on that debate stage that literally have 0% of the vote, that literally have, single digits up there. It's really not anything that is a real debate, not anything that's really engaging. So to me, engaging in that is not really worthwhile. Now, people could say it's a debate for BP. I see Danielle saying it's a debate for BP, but I don't think so, because if you want to be going for VP, you've got to court Trump. You've got to really romance Trump. You debating and winning a debate isn't going to convince Trump. Trump's got to be wooed. He's got to be romanced. He needs that golden plated toilet. You gotta appeal directly to the big T if you want to win the VP slot. And frankly, that's not what many of them are doing, with the exception perhaps of Vivek, who is able to do that while still kind of debating. And I don't think it hurts him to get his name out there. But in terms of like DeSantis, Haley, Pence, those guys are all, Pence, that's never going to happen again, right? Haley, that's probably not going to happen. DeSantis, unlikely at this point, very unlikely. There need to be a big makeup. It's possible, but there need to be a big makeup. And frankly, I think DeSantis is better off sitting in Florida for 2 years and then maybe trying for some part of Congress. JL said, also about Asia, looking to teach English in Korea and curious about what you think. Culture seems better than the US. Yeah, well, I lived in Korea for 3 years. I know many people, JL, that are English teachers. I think English teaching is a fine entry-level position. It's fine to get you abroad and get you experience living abroad. It's not the end game. So for those that are thinking about teaching English, whether it's in Korea or Japan, definitely something to explore, but do understand a couple things. Number one, you're going to be working your ass off. Number two, the hours are long. They're going to give you a lot of extra work. Number three, you're not going to have as much free time as you would just traveling on your own. But if you're young and you want some money, you want to get paid housing, it's not a horrible idea. So yeah, that's just my thoughts there. Korean culture, I like it. It's good. Moved to Thailand, but it is still a very good place. So yeah, hopefully that answers your super chat. And guys, obviously I'll be answering all Rumble rants, super chats, locals, tips. Those get priority. But yeah, so look, their numbers are shitty. So look, listen, it's a bunch of rhinos going up there and shooting for VP, and ultimately they're just shooting for really the big game, which is a general election. Now, I don't believe a lot of these. Some of these polls are kind of whack and out of place, but most of the general election polls, they do have a pretty close vote between Trump and Biden right now. Very, very close. Max Mura for 200 yen says, legal mindset, North or South Korea? Max, forget. Yeah, well, one of them you can't enter. So just take your pick on the one you can legally enter. The other one will end up getting you arrested like an American serviceman running away. But that being said, about the debate tonight and how it's like watching paint dry, so I wouldn't be caught, watching it at all. You've got another debate that has been fermented out right now, and that is a debate between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis. Now, I think this debate has the potential to be much more interesting. Now, I would prefer this if this was a debate where Ron DeSantis wasn't running for president at the same time. But the problem is that because Ron DeSantis is running for president, he's going to kind of have to play this weird game of I'm talking about my time as a governor, but I'm also running for president. I think this would be a much more fun debate if it's like California versus Florida go, right? Because it's like, definitely, obviously I'm a Floridian, I have a strong bias, right? But this would be a much more interesting debate, right? I think. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, obviously, this is the future election that I think people see happening. Maybe if it isn't this iteration, maybe next iteration. I think Newsom and DeSantis could very well be the ticket, right, in 2028. right? On the Democratic side and on the Republican side. Of course, I like these questions this is posted by Kevin Kiley of California. Newsom is debating DeSantis. Here's some questions. Why does California have the highest poverty rate in America? Why does California have the most homeless people in America? Why does it have the lowest wage growth in America? How about the highest gas prices, the largest budget deficit, the widest educational achievement gaps in all of America? Why did California shut down schools longer than any state in America? Why does it have the highest unemployment rate, second highest unemployment rate, second worst roads? And why is it the most people leaving? Why are the most people leaving California of any other state? Great questions to ask Gavin Newsom. Great questions to ask Gavin Newsom. Candace says, I'm a Californian and a Republican. I'm voting for DeSantis. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Newsom is a sociopath. Yes, absolutely. Now, I will say people were giving Newsom some credit recently because Newsom, he did overturn, there was a bill that was coming through, and let me see if I can actually find that bill that got overturned. I can see if I can find it real quick. But there was a bill that was coming through, and a lot of folks were giving Newsom credit for it because he overturned it and it related to gender identity. And it was the presumption that if any parent fails to affirm their kid's desired gender identity, so if the parent fails to affirm it, then they can strip them away and put them with the other parent. Well, the thing is that this bill, right? This is AB 957, right? AB 957 that he vetoed. That particular bill points out also in his response to this bill, he points out that the courts already have that power to strip your kids away for not affirming their gender identity. Actually, let me bring up, here's the actual response when he vetoed this. Assembly Bill 957. So let's read this real quick. Okay, it's from Newsom. To members of the California State Assembly, I am returning Assembly Bill 957 without my signature. This legislation would require a court, when determining the best interest of a child in a child custody or visitation proceeding, to consider, among other comprehensive factors, a parent's affirmation of the child's gender identity or gender expression. So literally would require, so the courts have to take into account gender affirmation. Okay, so obviously, let me put it this way. This is the push so that parents cannot parent. I accept the passion and values that led the author to introduce this bill. I share a deep commitment to advancing the rights of transgender Californians, an effort that has guided my decisions throughout the decades. Get bent. I urge caution when the executive and legislative branch of the state attempt to dictate in prescriptive terms that single out one characteristic legal standards for the judicial branch to apply. Other minded elected officials in California and other states could very well use this strategy to diminish civil rights of vulnerable communities. Let me just start right here by saying, first of all, Gavin Newsom doesn't give a shit about your civil liberties. He proved that during COVID. In fact, he doesn't give about civil rights of vulnerable communities or any communities. He wants you to be under the boot of the state. The only thing he's afraid of is that this is going to it's going to set a precedent. It's going to open the door for other states to copy it, but use it in a way to confirm parental authority. Because what they want, particularly what Gavin Newsom wants, is not just to destroy the family, but to take away authority from men. See, men already don't have authority in, the authority of men and strong families and maybe Christian families, right, that don't believe in going down that road, or Muslim families or other, strong families that have moral values, right? These families are the real vulnerable families because their rights have already been stripped away. Their rights to practice their religion, their practice their free speech, their free exercise. Those are already limited in our modern era. And they already can take your kids from you for a multitude of reasons. This is just adding in another way, another method for them to strip away parental authority, particularly from dads who are already beaten down, broken, hurt, but it's just pushing it even further and further and further. Oh, am I roboting? Am I back? Am I live? Okay. Well, hopefully we're good. Let me just double check this real quick. Good. Some good memes on locals though. Some good memes on locals. But yeah, I think we're all Gucci here again. I think we're all good here again. But yeah, Newsom hates the Constitution for sure. Moreover, a court under existing law is required to consider a child's health, safety, and welfare when determining the best interest of a child in these proceedings, including the parent's affirmation of the child's gender identity. So, okay, full stop. Courts, what he's saying is courts already look at gender identity. And unfortunately, this is true. Unfortunately, this is true. By the way, I think I'm being throttled because my thumbnail has the big T in it, probably. So, guys, make sure you smash a like button on the way in. We've got 90 likes. Let's get over 100 out. Let's get maybe 150 likes. It'll help us in the algo. Pure Jealousy said child abuse. Get the child some therapy first. This sucks. Yeah, you would be called an abuser, Pure Jealousy, if you went and got the kid therapy, because you're just supposed to affirm them. I love it. You all gaslighted him so much that he believes he's live. Yes, I believe he's live. Yeah, YouTube's definitely throttling me. Oh, show. Which is why we're going to Rumble later. For this reason, I cannot sign the bill. So Gavin Newsom got some love from that, I guess. People are saying, oh, he's moderate now. Gavin Newsom is moderate. Gavin Newsom is not moderate. Gavin Newsom will never be moderate. That guy does not know how to be moderate. At all whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the straight up facts. So, do I think it's because he's running for president? No. I think he just saw the consequences there and wanted to prevent those consequences from happening. But little interesting turn in terms of legislation. But also interesting is Mexican Iron Man, who drops here and says, I'm out here in California for the entire month of September. The state sucks. F Gavin Newsom. Yeah, definitely screw Gavin Newsom. And also, send some big love to Mexican Iron Man, your unofficial YouTuber. He's like a baby YouTuber he's actually a fully grown YouTuber. He's matured. He's matured out. So much love to Mexican Iron Man. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Avoid homeless people. Hope you're doing well and your family's well, and all the folks out there are not going too crazy on you for being a crazy South Carolinian. All right. So that's what I got for the debates. Listen, I'm not going to give much thought to it. I'm actually not going to cover it much. I just thought, hey, it will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the debate between Ron and Newsom. I may actually watch that one. That's one I may actually live stream because it's actually maybe interesting. But what's going on right now on the Republican side, not interesting, not going to happen, not going to cover, really. So just going to wait more for what happens with Trump in terms of the prosecution. And we may be covering that more on locals. Now, let's talk about the Hollywood strikes, huh? Let's talk about the Hollywood strikes. So we've got officially, we've got an end to the strikes. We've got an end to the WGA, AMPTP strikes with Hollywood. So the WGA and major studios have reached a tentative agreement on a new 3-year contract. Let me zoom in here. That promises to end a 146-day strike that has taken a heavy toll across the content industry. Negotiators say that they reached the finish line after 5 days of negotiation. They are hashing out the fine print. They're still getting some contract details done, but day 4, the last day, Saturday, they were arguing about the minimum basic agreement and about the details of AI. That was one of the last things they got in. And trust me, this battle over AI is not done yet. The battle over AI is not going to be over. These people think, oh, yeah, we put AI back in the bottle. Nope. How about foreign produced works? How about elements that are outsourced? It's not great. But of course, these people think they've won, and I've got to play this video because this guy is speaking here, and I want you to hear what he's saying, but also like look at the WGA members in the background. Like just look at them and who they are and what's going on with them. Let's listen into this guy for a second, talking about the kind of content food chain here real quick, as you just take a look at these people that are now the hard workers that are going back to work.
The headings of the requests or the points of negotiation for the writers are really say it all, because there is a little bit of inequity in terms of the value chain in the industry. Some people at the top of the food chain are having all the fun, while some others lower down the food chain are having to work without the assurance of having a proper living out of their jobs. So it's about the value of.
Okay, yeah. So this dude right there, you got big pun over here, right? You've got
the work that writers
got these folks,
and people in that
category.
Right here.
Just check out the
actors,
the hard workers, the hard workers of America. So he's talking about inequities. People at the bottom are not getting a assurance, but they're in a job where they don't get assurances, right? Here's my thing that really pisses me off about these guys is they're working a job. You accept the risks of the job. There are people out there who are fishermen, who are loggers, and they understand that they're going to go out there and they're going to be loggers in the highest fatality rate occupation in the developed world, in Canada, the US, right? They're going to go out there and freaking chop logs. They're going to be paid more, but they're taking a huge risk. These guys are asking to be paid more, and there's no risks. There's absolutely no risk. And these guys want to be paid millions, right? These guys are paid 700,000, 800,000, 900,000. No, sorry, you don't get a guarantee of that. You're not owed that. It's not equity. It's not inequitable. Find a different job. Just find a different job. Sorry, period. Hunch says, I want a Republican debate co-moderated by Alex Jones and Tucker. That would be lit. Grab a 12-pack and popcorn, sit back, watch Pure TV Gold. They never do it. They don't have the balls to do it. That's why I know I'm not interested in the Republican debate, because it can't be that, Hunch, because it can't be that. It's this whole mainstream media kabuki. It's kabuki. And by watching it, you're plugging in their topics of discussion, their framing into your brain. And I'm not going to accept that mind poison, right? Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Alex and Tucker, that would be really good, though. Especially like new Tucker is based Tucker. So definitely want that. With Bathhouse Barry Tucker, that's, exposing that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, over easy. Thank you. Legal sucks. You're the lawyer. Go. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Nick Cruiser says, the hard worker was the sidewalk holding up all those fat Fs. Yes, the sidewalk needs a raise. After holding up all of those Hollywood weirdos, the sidewalk needs a raise. One thing I am not looking forward to, by the way, this is an update from Deadline Hollywood, is that the late night shows are going to return soon after the writer's strike deal. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh. We missed them so much. All of these irrelevant fucks. No, really, all of these guys can go away forever, and they're not missed. And the truth of the matter is that no one really missed Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Oliver. No, nobody missed these guys. Sorry. Irrelevant, and also entirely in the bucket for the show media. as was established during Rona. So, all right, a little bit more fun news here today. So, New York, right? So, a lot of things about New York here to cover. But I've got to get into it. I've got to get into it with this. I've got to get into it with this story. So, first of all, you've got this story from the Post. So, you've got New York City is spending $1 billion on hotels alone to shelter migrants for 3 more years. So they are dropping a hard B to shelter these migrants. Oh, speaking of which, sorry, Pure Jealousy says, just write something that is worth $1 million. Earn it. Problem solved. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Pure Jealousy. The writers don't earn it. Much like, look, I want a free hotel. You know, when I go to New York, I get a free hotel. Can I pretend to be homeless? Will that work? Yeah. You got to earn it. But yeah, $1 billion to pay for hotels. They're pissing that away, right, as they debate deporting immigrants out of their sanctuary city. But one thing that made me laugh was this. In case you guys haven't seen this, this is one of my posts here. I give Bronx R2D2 about 15 minutes before it's defiled beyond function. Yes, they have implemented a RobotCop. Here in New York. And now I'm laughing because I'm thinking about a discussion I had on Bangkok Bros with Ben, my good friend on my alternate channel, about like R2D2 and you know, some of his ports, you know, but once again, these ports are going to be absolutely ravaged within like 10, 15 minutes. And by the way, even the articles are confirming this. So let me read you about this. Okay, so obviously this meme is classic. This meme just got me. Damn it, now I'm obsolete. But this is the real article here. So this is a 240-pound RoboCop is being deployed around Times Square's subway station. So this is the 5'2" RoboCop with a giant camera patrolling the Times Square subway station. It's a Nightscope K5 autonomous security robot. It's supposed to act as a crime deterrent and provide real-time information on how to deploy secure human officers. It has multiple cameras, a button that connect the public with a real person, and a live speaker for all live audio. Yeah. So right now, when it's going to be piloted, it's going to be patrolling with a human handler. So it's going to have a human handler for a while. However, after 2 months, the mayor says the handler will no longer be necessary and it's going to go on solo patrols. Now, this company has grifted this to 30 clients in 10 states, including malls and hospitals. Obviously, yeah, they're pushing facial recognition. They're clearly going to do that. But yeah, here's the thing right here. And here's what I want to view with you guys. The K5 has been in some sticky situations in other cities. One was toppled and slathered in barbecue sauce in San Francisco. Slathered in barbecue sauce. I guarantee you they didn't just slather it in barbecue sauce. I guarantee you they experimented with one of its ports. Okay? And then another one of these units was beaten by an intoxicated man in Mountain View, California. A third one fell into a pool of water outside an office building. Dude, this thing is getting drop kicked into a pool of water. Torgo says, calling it now on cinder blocks after 1 week. Yup. They're gonna take the rims off this thing. This thing is gonna have no rims after they're done with it. 0 rims. Ain't nobody gonna put up with this motherfucker. Asked whether the robot was a risk of vandalism. They said, this is not a pushover, 420 pounds. This is New York tested. You know what this means? This means challenge fucking accepted, okay? This means challenge accepted. This thing is going to end up on those tracks, on those subway tracks. These bums, 420 pounds for a bum, they have bum strength. Like, you don't know where bum strength comes from. Two dudes could gang up and knock this over as well. They're like, well, it's strong enough to defeat a small person, but two dudes and bums will team up. So the robot is leased out at $9 an hour. So the argument is you could start replacing cops with $9 an hour robots. And look at this. Look at what he says. And this is, by the way, this is liberals, right? Liberals can say this. This is below the minimum wage. No bathroom breaks, no meal breaks. Except for the fact that you have to have a full-time staff member to monitor the robot. It ain't there yet. Sorry. They're also talking about digidogs, robot dogs, over the next couple months as well. All these toys. Look, listen, I think it's hilarious. I'm looking forward to seeing the memes. I'm looking forward to seeing these things like tossed out, pissed on, covered in pizza. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I want to get some stuff over here. Mark of Reality says on Rumble for $5 says, one of these days, I'm going to be streaming my own channel. It's fun watching Uniparty flounder and screech because they're losing power that was never theirs to begin with. Absolutely, Mark of Reality. Absolutely. Got myself paused there on Rumble. Tech Crisis also says on Rumble, let me read this real quick, says, I bet I could turn it into e-waste with a can of spray paint. Absolutely. It's not that hard. Like, you just cover the camera, and once you cover the camera, you're done. It's over. New York will lay waste to these robot things. Yeah. Joe Mass Q for $5 says, New York City will lay waste to these robot things. They're not going to last. There's no way in hell they're going to last very long in New York City. So, no, this story to me, absolutely, positively hilarious. And I was here for it. Other news that I want you guys to know. Okay, I want to cover this real quick. This is the Trudeau news. And this is kind of like a brand new kind of update to it. But in case you guys didn't catch this is something, it's non-legal, right? And today, a lot of my news that I like is non-legal. But you've got Canada, which is giving this guy, Yaroslav Hunk, they gave this guy a standing ovation. Let me show you guys this real quick. So you've got this here.
Zelensky's speech received at least a dozen standing ovations. There was also one for this man, a 98-year-old Ukrainian Canadian who fought for Ukrainian independence against the Russians during the Second World War.
Against the Russians. Hold on. Again, let me play this again. Against the
independence against the Russians during the Second World War.
Against the Russians. So fact check real quick. For those boys and girls who don't know, the side that was with the Russians included countries such as Britain and America. Yeah, we were called the Allies. The Allies was Britain, America, the Soviet Union, and some random frogs. The opposite is called the Axis, which included various minor powers, a lot of Eastern Europe, and Nazi Germany. So, you're saying you celebrated an actual Nazi. And in fact, he was not a member. This guy was not just a member of any garden variety. He was actively collaborating with the SS in their, let's say, various activities against the Jews, Poles, Czechs, Slovaks, Soviet partisans during their collaboration. They are absolutely in the tank. So yes, they celebrated a Nazi, celebrated an actual Nazi who fought for the 14th Division of the Waffen SS. Congrats, bros. Congrats. Now, of course, here you have Trudeau coming out here with a big old I'm sorry. Hold on. Here we go.
Obviously, it's extremely upsetting that this happened. The speaker has acknowledged his mistake and has apologized. But this is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada and, by extension, to all Canadians. I think particularly of Jewish MPs and all members of the Jewish community across the country who are celebrating commemorating Yom Kippur today.
On Yom Kippur, you're gonna do them like that on Yom Kippur. You're gonna do them like that on Yom Kippur, Justin.
It's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation. And
wait, hold up. Aren't you supposed to be apologizing? Like, wait a second. You're literally going from this to Russian propaganda. You literally put out propaganda that this guy was a war hero. That was propaganda. You got called on it because X has community notes. Literally, these guys got told on by the community notes on X. The only disinformation here was literally the fact you guys put a Nazi up there and were clapping for him. That was where's the Russian disinformation here? I'll let him finish for the 10 seconds here.
Continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine.
See, and this is the part that's probably unequivocal support of Ukraine. This is where you get when you start unequivocally supporting Ukraine, you're supporting Nazis. So this is why you don't unequivocally support people. There's no such thing as you should never have unequivocal support for anybody.
As we did last week with announcing further measures to stand with Ukraine in Russia's illegal war against it.
Okay, yeah. So turning it around to the truth is just Russian disinformation. Cool. Good job, bro. Good job. Good job. Yeah. They really think people are idiots. They really do. They really believe me and you, everybody else. They believe we're all idiots on this. We're absolutely nuts. But speaking of nuts, I want to give big thanks to you guys who are nuts members in the chat real quick. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate you, and especially those that give out the gift memberships. So Rose D, that's 2 streams in a row. You've given 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Rose. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you're doing for the channel. Guys, make sure you have turn gift memberships on if you're in YouTube to accept those. That really helps out, helps the channel, and helps that you're supporting. But yeah, guys, this war is absolutely, to me, it's outed the people. It's outed the people that are the shills, that are the uniparty. It's outed the people on the right and the left that are lacking any moral fiber or sense of just rational assessment. Hunch the Dirty Roofer said, can't wait to see RobotCop dogs get stolen off the street, cards wiped, and then shipped to China and sold on the black market. It's going to be glorious. There's going to be some NYPD dog patrolling Wuhan. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to get swiped in literally, I mean, that thing is going to get swiped within the year. For sure. Wholly swiped. It's going to get, the dogs will be stolen. The big guy, I think, is just going to get knocked over and defaced. But yeah, it's going to, and its parts will be stolen. It'll be disassembled. But they're not going to take all of it. They're not going to take the full shell. They'll just take the actual chips that are worth money. So yeah, the robot was probably made in China anyways. It's a good fact. It's a good fact. Yeah, Canada has always been so selective. They're selective about what they do and what they don't do. They're selective about what they support and don't support. And I agree. What they consider an illegal war is really something that just Trudeau doesn't agree with. That's what they call an illegal war. Trudeau doesn't agree with them. Okay, so I think I've caught up here on all the platforms. I think I've got all of the comments for now. Oh, wait, sorry. There's a $1 one from Torgo on New York, which says from locals, look at a $1 tip on locals, which says after 1 week of policing New York, the robot will throw itself on the subway tracks. Absolutely. Robot, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Beep, boop. Fuck this shit. But speaking of that, guys, it's about time I'm going to experiment, not with heavy drugs, but with going over to Rumble. So for those that don't know, you guys can go over to Rumble. I'm putting the Rumble link in the chat, right? I'll even go ahead and I'll pin it here for you guys. So you guys have that link in the chat. You guys can go over there to Rumble and you can hear me talk about Matt Walsh. I'm going to be going in on Matt Walsh for being a TradCon pansy and for being ridiculous about the state of men and the state of masculinity. And so we're going to do that on Rumble. So I'm going to play a quick little clip here, a little outro, and then we're going to be over on Rumble. So go over there, check it out. Thank you guys. Make sure you smash the like button here, and I will see you rumbling in the jungle. Until then, peace.